Boop-a-dee-boop, boop. All right. I think I am live right now. Gonna just check my phone. View the channel. Yep. All right, cool. Well, happy Friday. It's Friday. Yeah. Party day. Um, and so on this Friday, I decided to go live. So this is me live drawing. So no time lapse cheating of showing like, oh, look how fast I drew this, when it's really not fast at all. So yeah, I did this little sketch of this guy today at the end of the day, like I usually do at the end of work, is just to decompress. I'll just like scribble down little characters. So I drew this guy. He's kind of like a 90s Fabio kind of dude. So he's got like the tight black dress pants. I think used to call those Z Cavaricis, and when I was growing up, it's what people wore, and we would bend, or if not bend, we would fold the ankles and then roll them, and then on the crease we would add little safety pins, uh, and we would wear and we wear dress shirts and tuck them in and have like these really tacky belts that would like you had to like kind of loop it and it would hang. And it usually had like on the tip like a piece of metal, shiny metal on the tip. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the Z Cavaricis, I remember they had like a little white tag in the crotch or pelvis area, which always made it look like a fly was down. Anyway, so that's kind of the inspiration for this guy. He would be like kind of I don't know, like a sort of a villain, like um, not like Maleficent villain. Like he's not giving out poison apples, even though I I could draw one right here, and he's like, try this apple. But no, he's more like uh, Ben Affleck's character in Chasing Amy, um, where he worked at the casual men's store, and he was kind of like that kind of just like a jerk, you know, arrogant, cocky. That's why he's got like the uh, one eyebrow up. I think a lot of people call that the DreamWorks brow. Um, I'm probably not exactly nailing that, but that's kind of where it's coming from. Um, so yeah, I'm just gearing up to clean this up using the lasso fill tool, which is my favorite tool to use in Clip Studio Paint, because it's just so fast, and I just have a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to be cleaning this up for this live, because apparently I got to do a ton of lives to try and get to that sweet monetization level that everybody is trying to get to. Um, so yeah, I think we can start to jump in on this. And again, I am drawing live today, so when I post this recording later, just know that I did this live. So if you dig this, definitely subscribe if you run across it. Follow, all that jazz. But also, if enough people start commenting that they found this and they know that it exists, then maybe I'll start doing them on a regular basis and pick like a time and all that stuff. So yeah, let me know when you see this and we can make it happen. So first things first. I'm going to take this sketch layer we've got here and bring down the opacity so that I can just ever so slightly see my drawing underneath. And then what I usually do, you know what, let's do things the right way on this. I'm going to label this. So this is my sketch layer. I'm just going to call it sketch. If I'm going to do this in front of you guys, I should do it the non-lazy way, because I don't label my layers all the time and it's messy. So like, look, who's this guy? Where'd he go from? Let's get rid of him. And look at, who's this lady? Let's get rid of her too. She looks like really grumpy. She's pissed. She's like, I'm your little dog too. Or no, she's more like, you know, are you sure you're supposed to be using this pool? Do you belong here? I'm going to tell on you. Yeah, all right. So let's get rid of that too. All right, so now we just got a sketch layer and I lock it down. And I'm going to, before I lock it down, unlock it, I keep one layer on the bottom. I don't know if other people do this. I don't know if this is even worth doing, but it's what I've been doing lately. I duplicate my sketch layer, and then I turn this top sketch layer to a multiply, and then I lock it. And I always keep this one on the top, and I'm going to lock this one. I always keep this one on the bottom, like a sandwich, so that when I make a new layer here, and then we're going to pick his skin tone. This dude gets out in the sun, so he's a little tan. I'm trying to think of someone with a tan who would be a good equivalent to this kind of arrogant kind of character. I can't think of anyone right now. All right. So as I mentioned before, I have a sketch layer on the bottom, sketch layer on the top, and I've made my first layer, and this is going to be the head. So I'm just going to label it head like that. And then just start using this lasso fill tool. And like, as you guys know, you know what, hold on one second before I go any further. I just want to check my video settings here. Okay, we're good. I just want to make sure my resolution wasn't set too high. Otherwise, this stream is going to look bad later. All right, so make our head layer. And this lasso fill tool is like I said, many times, it's one of the coolest things ever. You just draw your shape and it closes up. Like so fast. You just draw your shape, closes it up. I mean, crazy. I do set my stabilization pretty high when I get to this phase. I did a time lapse a couple days ago and I had like the stabilization really low, and I was drawing on my cell phone, which made it even harder. But yeah, when you draw those shapes here, it's not as smooth. I mean, that's pretty good. That's still pretty good. I mean, like, I guess it's more forgiving if you have a little shake to your hand. Like, see, that's like showing up all those things. But if I jack this up to like 65, and I start trying to make those jagged lines, it keeps it pretty clean. But you want to make sure that you don't have it too high, because then it's not your lines anymore, or it doesn't feel like it's your lines. It's like driving, uh, it's driving the car when it was your idea to go on the road trip in the first place. So, yeah, 65 is pretty good. I usually mess with like if I'm doing like drawing stuff with vertex lines, I'll make sure to keep that around like the 40 to 50 um, stabilization area, because I'll do like really quick lines, and I want to make sure uh, I'm not fighting the computer to to uh, to get the end result. If that makes sense, I hope it does. All right, so zoom in on this head and just start tracing. So there's like my ear, and as I go through, you might see sometimes where I'm like correcting some things. You'll also notice I drew this line. I'm gonna do it again for you guys. So I go like up here, over here, down here, swoop, and I stop there because it closes the line for me. Um, so, and the reason that I had um, the layer on the bottom, um, or the drawing on the bottom and the top, is that sometimes I like to turn off the sketch and see how my shape looks on its own, but then also still see my drawing underneath here. Like, I don't know if that helps other people, but for me, it's very helpful, because when you have the one drawing layer and you set it to multiply and you're drawing over it, it's fine. But I like to be able to still see how this shape relates to the rest of my sketch. Like, I don't know. It's just the way that I do it. It's, I'm not telling people that this is the way it should be done. I'm sure someone out there has a completely different way of doing stuff. So keep that in mind. All right, so that's my head layer. I'm gonna just go in, make a new layer, and I'm gonna call this one torso. And I'm gonna pick the same, I'm gonna stay on the same color of skin here, but I'm gonna do this entire shape here of the body. So I'm gonna start at the neck. You see the line here meets right where this ear meets the jawline. So I'm just gonna come around and up, and then there you go. That's the chest. Now I know we've got this shirt here that we have to worry about, but I'll take care of that when I use a clipping plane or clipping mask. But for now, this gets the job done. I mean, in fact, let's just go ahead and pick like a nice kind of dark gray. Make a new layer. Then over here, this is the clip to layer below. So now I draw any shape inside here, it will stay. So we've already got the skin here for the neck, so I'm just gonna go in and draw a nice little collar line here. Maybe this wraps around a little better. Yeah, that's nice. All right, and just gonna hit save. Make sure it's at a Clip Studio Paint document. All right. Okay. So then next, we will make a new layer. So right here, unlabel it. I'm doing such a good job staying on top of these little labels. I'm just going to call this arm, or we'll say front arm. All right. And then I'm going to pick our skin color again and just start at the little fist here, work my way up. Just feel that. But see how fast, like, I just love how fast you can get like a nice cleaned up, you know, and then, you know, all your shapes are separated. You can already get a sense of what your final result will be. I think for this shirt, I'm going to go a little bit lighter. And we're going to do that same thing we did here where I make a layer and we clip it below. And just fill that top part. So now we've got a nice t-shirt shoulder line there. Cool. And then next, I want to get these pants going. Oh, and before I do that, let me label this. So this technically is the shirt sleeve. And then on this one, this is the, just call that shirt. And save. I'm always saving. I'm paranoid. So for the pants here, we're gonna go and make a new layer. And I think we're gonna start like here. Taper. Get the badunkadunk. There we go. That's pretty good. And then this other back foot. So front, I'm gonna label that front leg, and then I'm gonna make a new layer. Call this one, whoops, back layer, leg, back leg. And like that. I think that works. And then for, I'll come back for the feet in a minute. Let's just get the rest of this going. So I'm going to call this layer back arm. Whoops. Choose our skin color and then just trace this outer shape here. That's pretty good. Turn off the sketch. Let's check it. I think that works. And then for this hair, I was going to do like a orangey yellow. And I want to put this on the back layer as well, so it goes behind the head. And just try and keep the main attitude. It's pretty good. hair's blowing in the wind, you know. And I'm just trying to include a few, whoops, a few flyaways here. I'm gonna use an actual pen later for that. So there's that. That's behind the ear. These colors are like really close to one another. I don't know, maybe we go darker. Oh, you know, maybe we use a redhead. Let's try that. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that works. Like the blonde is a little on the nose. Let's have more fun with this. All right, so now I'm gonna go way up here to the top and just call this like front hair, because I want to get this hairline here to come down, and then maybe a widow's peak. I think that's cool. Yeah, that works. Save again. And make a new layer. Still labeling my layers. Very proud of myself. I'm just going to call this the eye white. And I'm going to probably put both of these together. I think it's okay. Get that shape in there. That works. And then call this layer lashes. Oh, whoops. And then we're just going to go solid black for those. There's one. That's a little thin. That's going to be too thick. No, that's good. Okay. I think we're just going to give him dark brown eyes. So for pupils, I'm going to mask it to this white layer here. Let me turn off my sketch so you can see. So I got the eye whites here, and then I just made this new layer called pupils, and I'm going to clip to layer below. And then when I draw on my pupils, everything stays inside. I could give him like spider pupils. Look more like teeth. There we go. I think that works. Turn my sketch back on. And let's do the eyebrows. I'm going to pick the same color I have for the hair. Make a new layer. Call this brows. And just kind of draw my shape in. I think that works. Let's go big and chunky for these brows, and maybe like a little bit of like hair on the ends there. I think that's fun. Yeah, he's totally looking like super cocky right now. I like it. So save. And for this mouth, or no, I'm sorry. For this nose, I'm going to make a new layer call it nose. And I'm just gonna pick like a slightly redder, darker version. Yeah, that works pretty good. And just kind of trace over this nose shape. Yeah, I think that works. Cool. Now we got a nose in there. And what's missing? We gotta get a mouth and the chin or lip line. But for those, we might start to move away from using our clip, or sorry, using our lasso fill tool to actually use our pen tool to draw in some of these details. But I think for now, let's get these feet in. For the feet, I'm going to use this, let's call this shoes. I'm going to use the polyline tool. Just kind of plot in some little boots. Maybe they have like heels on them. Oh, and we're just going to fill that dark black. And then over here, fill that. Foot's kind of going away. So I think that works. Let's just get yeah, I think that's good. Cool. All right. Save again because I'm paranoid. I want you guys to realize that like I'm doing this live right now, and like I have like there's like 0 people following me, and it's just reminding me that other people are out having a life on a Friday night, and I'm here drawing. But this is fun. I like this. I like drawing. You guys remember that old SNL? It was Mike Myers, Simon. He liked to do drawings. Where are my old people at? Remember that. All right, so we got, I'm gonna do some shadow work where I just break up these shapes. Like right now, if you turn off the sketch, the chin line and the neckline, you can't tell where one ends and one begins. So I'm going to fix that. And luckily I named my layers, so all I have to do is go in and just look through, and I find my torso here. And make a new layer and call this torso. It's really the neck, but I made those all one shape. So I'll just say torso neck and just say shadow. It's a really long label, but gets the job done. So now, oh, and then I set this to multiply, and it's the same color as the skin. And then if I go in like that, we get a shadow. And I'm gonna, that's a little harsh. I'm gonna turn the opacity down to like 20, so 30, 34. Feels pretty good. So now we got a shadow there, and then if I go back up to, let's just make a new layer, I guess. No, wait, where's our head at? Right here, new layer. I'm just gonna call this ear shadow. And set to multiply. This was like 30 38, I think, or 34, something like that. Let's just get it close. Now we got an ear in there. And honestly, I think I want to just put like a dark. Now I could do that for the lid. It's just fun. Yeah, let's do that. Of course, that's the same color as the nose. I don't like that. Let's leave that alone for right now. Because, yeah, I might want to put like a shadow here too. I totally do. Yeah. Oh, I need to mask or clip that too. My bad. So if I go like this. Yeah, but then I need. That's going to be a separate layer. I'll do that later. This is just going to be. I feel like it's too close to that nose color. So I'm going to pick this color and draw this shape again. And then on the torso one, same thing there. Cool. Where else I want a shadow? Let's go ahead and save. And then let's find that arm in the back, that back arm. Same thing. I'm gonna call it back arm shad. Just gonna, I'll know what that means. So, and then we're gonna clip that and set the opacity. I think it was, I didn't change that from 38. There you go. And I'm like following the curve of that shape too. All right. What else? What else? Maybe this hair, like in the back, could be darkened. So if we go, and I didn't label this, so let's do that hair. There we go. And then mask this. Call it hair shadow. Okay. Oh, and then 38 opacity. I'm just going to draw in a little bit of a shadow there. I think I'm going to erase part of this. I want this to come from the back. I think that works, right? Yeah, it works for me. All right, so now we need to get in that mouth. So let's turn on our sketch. And then, oh, you know what? While I'm still on this shadow mode, I'm going to go to the head layer. Sorry, I keep jumping around. It's just the way my head is. Set this to multiply. Opacity 38. I'm just going to give like a little under the nose shadow. Yeah. And just a little bit under the eyes here. Why not? just to help sink those in. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. All right. So we got that. And next up, oh, and then maybe, where's that? So this was, I'm just going to call this face shadows. And I'm going to put one underneath his lip here. Cool. All right. So now I'm going to take a break from my lasso fill tool and make this new layer. This time I'm going to make a vector layer. And I'll show you why in a minute. So I'm just going to call this like line work and pick like a to pick my G pen brush, and then the stabilization is set to 100. See how I can't get that last part on there because it's set to 100. So when I draw really fast, like I was saying before, it's too much. The computer is taking the wheel too much on that. That's not bad. You can also control the speed that you're drawing, and that helps too. So maybe it's all me. I need to control my speed. So I'm gonna keep it at that because we're doing like a cleaned up line, and I'm going for like crispy. So yeah. So the reason I use the vector line is because when I draw a line like this, and then I draw another line like this, I'm trying to like keep this going all the way in there, like a nice clean line, right? So when I do this, I draw through the shape. And you know, for people who aren't familiar with this tool, they're probably like, well, why are you doing that? That doesn't look right. But it's because I want lines that feel connected, right? Then for all this overhang stuff, I just make sure my eraser is set to hard. Don't do soft, because when I go soft, it just erases like normal, and you don't want to go through and try and clean that up that way. Or I don't want to do that. So you make sure you have hard selected. Scale it down a little bit. And then if I just swipe through it, boom, like it's gone. Like I love this tool so much. So now I have like a nice clean line. I don't know if I want this color though for the face. It feels, that's fine for this, because I'm gonna do one thing here now. Now that I've got that line there, I'm gonna pick like a kind of more saturated color of the skin, and behind this line layer, I'm just gonna draw like just a little line around here for some lips. So I just feel like that looks nicer. Gives it a little more depth, pushes things the way that they need to be. All right, so back to our line layer. I'm gonna turn back on this. So, trying to decide how I want to do this. For the hair, I'm going to first go find my hair layer. And make a new layer. I'm gonna call this hair line work. Save our file because I feel like I haven't saved in a while. And I'm going to pick, I think I want to go lighter with this color, so see what that looks like. So now I'm going to draw like just these kind of detailed lines for strands of hair. Nothing too crazy. And see here how this is because this happens. I can't draw a line here because this piece of hair, like this tuft here and this little widow's peak is on a layer on the top. So I can either not do this or just go ahead and keep it as is, and then I'll make a layer up here on the top and connect those. Yeah, I'm wondering, I don't think I want to do that though. I think, let's see, where's my line at? So I got all this, it's just back here. So yeah, I think I'll just pull in a line from here and do something like that. There we go. And that might be enough. Let's see. I don't want to go super crazy with it. And then maybe up here, I'm going to call this top line. I could draw like a couple of strands. Yeah, just a few. All right, and save that. And then I'm going to go back to my line work layer and I pick like a dark brown and just start picking areas where I drew like line work. Like I think that's a fun area here for like just to show that neck is being twisted, and then maybe like a little hint of an Adam's apple there. And I think these might be too harsh, so I'm going to bring the opacity down. Maybe a little extra dimple on the smile here. And some details on the eyes. Maybe a little hint of a lid there. Which, no, I don't like that. Maybe a forehead wrinkle. So that's pretty good. What else? Maybe a chin line there. Yeah, that's pretty fun. And I think this guy needs like a 5 o'clock shadow. I'm gonna pick like a kind of dark blue. Find our head and make a new layer. Yep. And some new layer here. Make sure it's all staying in there. Yep. Look at that. I didn't even, that's pretty good. But I want the shape to be a little bit more over. So I'm going to undo that. Try it again. Yeah, it's a little better. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, this guy totally has that kind of, you know, it's not total villain, but he's not like totally good either. He's just kind of in that in between, as so many of us are. Back to the line layer. I think I want to put like a couple of details in the ear here. Maybe just that one, and then this, like that. That's kind of fun. Or maybe that first squiggle and then something like that. Yeah, it's better. Okay. And I might put some little stubble lines in there, but that's like a thing I'll do later. So then here, I'm gonna draw. Oh, I need to make sure I got the right color here. Just gonna go back to like this darker brown. Yeah, those match. Those match. So we got that. So we got that. Now why are these not? Because this is a, yeah, this is a, whoops, this is a vector. So we got something like this. Just gonna draw a little line there to break that. That line there. This guy's got like three fingers and a thumb. I could put another one in there, but, or I could have even made this like, yeah, let's do that instead. So let's put a break here, get rid of that. And then something like that. Whoops, canvas got away from me. So I think that works for that. And then here, just gonna put this little line there, and then maybe a knuckle, hint of a knuckle. And I think I kind of want to put a bunch of hairs on his arms too. So now I think we're good to completely turn off like these sketch layers. Just get rid of them. And oh, I wanted to do one line to separate these legs from one another. So something like, just like that. Just to get a hint. I want so bad to put like the little white Z Cavaricci thing there, but he's twisted away so you wouldn't really see it. So I'm gonna leave it be. What else? What else? Oh, maybe some extra line work for like the chest line. I'm gonna change that color. Yeah, it's better. Something like that, and then some wrinkles. Maybe not that. And then I kind of want this shirt line to be a little bit higher, so go back to our layers. We called this like the torso, right? Yeah. Pick the color of the shirt, and then I'm gonna say I want this shirt line to go up to here now. Oh, and then clip it. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Oh, that was my my bad. Let's go ahead and make a new layer. Just call this collar. In case I don't like it, I can always then just get rid of the layer. This one's clipping to the right layer now. Yep. So we're going to raise this line up. Yeah, I think that's better. Right? Yeah, I think so. And you know, because we made this extra collar here on a separate layer, I can now make a layer behind this. Whoops, I lost this shirt. I can make a layer behind. Actually, I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. If I were to draw, yeah, I think that works. Let's get a real nice yellow. And you're not really seeing it though, are you? Let's try and then that's showing up on the, I was gonna put like some chains around him, but I'll revisit that later. I don't know if I want to do it anymore. The moment has passed. So back to that line there. Let's pick like a dark brown again. So I think I drew this so straight, but I think the elbow would be like somewhere around here, or maybe it's back here. So maybe what I do is just draw like a little line, yeah, where it would be. That's what I'll do. Little Popeye. There's a bursitis for all you youngins out there who haven't experienced this. There's something called bursitis. It's like an inflammation kind of old people thing. I had it in uh, my elbow once, and my elbow, it just like, let me like draw it for you. Actually, I can just do it right here. Like it just ballooned up. Like I'm not even kidding. It was like huge, just filled with like fluid, and like, so I had to like wear something to compress it. Anyway, it's probably too much information for you guys. You know, you didn't even know you came here for all that, did you? I think for the shoes, I'm just gonna keep it just simple. I don't know what else to do that I want to do for that. Um, I do want to go in and give him darker lids. So if I take that color, go kind of a little bit darker and go to the head, make a layer, and then draw in some lids. Now that looks too close to that shadow color. I don't like that. So maybe we go a little redder. So yeah, I can rock with that. All right, and then that lid is getting pushed down. And let's go ahead and go back to that line layer, that top line, and don't like that color. Just a couple of extra details on the hair there. All right. And do. What else? What else? What else? So I talked about stubble. I'm gonna make a new layer. Just call it stub. Stub. And I'm gonna look for my straight line tool. I'm gonna pick a black color and then just start sprinkling in some stubble, which is why I called it stubs. I don't want to get too crazy with it, but I can't just leave it as black. Now I have to put some white ones in here to get the salt and pepper, because that's what I started rocking recently in life. I like to say like each gray hair that I've gotten is a result of a movie I worked on. Like, very stressful. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Very stressful. It's nice to not have that pressure right now. It's a blessing, to be honest. All right. So there's some stubble. And then let's go ahead and I'm gonna make another layer in case I don't like it. I always do that. Like, I'm not sure about something, I just make another layer because then I can just easily ditch it. But I had said before I wanted to add stubble on the arms. Yeah, like he's like Robin Williams Harry. He kind of looks like Robin Williams playing a cocky person. I miss that dude. And I guess I'll salt and pepper his arm here too. Why not? I don't think I've gotten to that point yet. But it's coming. It's definitely, I feel a blessing to get older. Like, I'm trying to feel that, I should say. Like, it's not always easy. You want to look in the mirror and see your 20-year-old self, and instead there's like this old person looking back at you. And you're like, who's this old man in my bathroom staring at me? That's pretty fun. All right, and save because it's been a while. What else? What else? I'm gonna go back to that collar that we added. So we got shirt, there it is, collar, which is here. And I'm just gonna make a new layer. Let's call it detail and pick like a light gray. There we go. Stabilization's good, but that line's not. I'll see if I like this. I'm not sure that I will. Yeah, I can make this work. Okay. Just have to draw the lines better. Like that. Oh, are we on? Yeah, that's the other thing. Because I want this to be something I haven't tried before is, no, you can't do it because I was going to make a vector layer. Oh, no, you can. And then draw that on top of this. Like that. And then Draw these lines. Then erase the edges here. Do I like that? I don't. It's not good. We're just gonna leave that alone. I think what I will do is just like a couple of wrinkle lines. This shirt. And I think that's good. Then up at the top here. Whoops, made too many layers. I'm gonna call this layer here fly. Fly ways. And then color pick this edge, this bottom edge of the hair here. I'm just gonna draw, oh wait, this cannot be on the top. This has to be all the way at the bottom. At the bottom. Just drag this down. All right. And then here's a flyaway. Here's another one. And then pick this color. Something like that. Just to make this edge feel a little bit less computery, if that's a word. Computery. And then maybe we go back to the top. Call that fly. Just add. Yeah, that's good. Just the one. If you wanted to, you could like fling that up there. Couple of hairs out of place. Cool. What else? What else? Where's that line work layer? I'm gonna go and add just a little line by the nostrils. And then I'm going to grab this red here and maybe this should go, excuse me, maybe this should go on the nose. So here's the nose. We'll make a new layer, clip it. Bring down. So I'm gonna just give this nose a little blast of red and switch that to multiply. Turn it down just a little bit. That's cool. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for the face. As soon as I find it. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So there's the head, new layer. Just gonna call this red. I'll say blush. And scale this up just a little bit. And then black. Whoa, that's too big. Let's scale this down. Still too big. There we go. There we go. So then, and then let's get the ear. Still a little bit. Something like that. And then multiply. And then bring down the opacity. So it's just a hint there. So it feels fleshy. Maybe even a little. Oh, that's because it's on the neck. We can't paint that. Okay, that's fine. Then let's do the same thing on that arm. Got front hair, nose, arm hair. But where's the arm? That's the short sleeve front arm right here. So new layer here. I'm just gonna put this, call this red as well. It's clustered next to the arm, so I'll know what it is later if I need to go back. So here I'm just gonna. Oh, we put that elbow in there. Okay, 1 second. Does anybody remember where I put that elbow? That's a kind of a weird addition we had, right? See, sometimes things get away from me. There it is. So let's label this elbow. But let's just go ahead and make that part of the arm, that front arm. Oh no, is that not gonna work? Oh no, it will. Hold on. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Yeah, we're gonna trash this, and then we're gonna just go to the right layer and add it right here. There we go. And now I'll make a new layer, or we should still have this red layer. So we'll go back to that. Pick a reddish tone, airbrush, and then just blast. It might be a little too much. Something like that. It's pretty good. I'm going to set it to multiply and just tap it down a little bit. I think that works. Then maybe a little bit of that same treatment in the hand over here. I wonder if I'm like, no, I checked. I really am live. I'm bummed out because I was like thinking at least like one person was going to pop in here. But I'm going to make sure that this video gets shared when it's done. And like I said earlier in the video, if you see this and you thought that it was, semi-entertaining, then maybe you'll subscribe and then leave a comment. And then I'll do these again. I mainly just like to create stuff. Sometimes I'll share like stuff that I learn along the way, but sometimes most of the time I'm just going to be creating stuff, and that's kind of what I do. And we talk about it. Maybe it sparks up a story in the past, but I just feel like there's so many like tutorial videos on YouTube that like I don't feel like I would contribute anything that hasn't already been said over and over again to people. But that might change. I know sometimes, I've taught or I teach in the summers, and I know sometimes I explain something a certain way that someone hadn't heard before, and it unlocks new ideas for them. So maybe there will be room for me to do it. We'll see. Could be that old imposter syndrome sneaking in, speaking on my behalf, and it's like thriving right now because it knows it's like nobody's watching you. But this is good because this is practice. This is a good practice run for me to get back on the horse and create. It's weird though, like drawing live for the world. Like you So you're so used to like, working alone, and you got your music playing, and to not have that now, kind of, you're just kind of stuck listening to yourself. I'm surprised I actually got something done here, or almost done. I need to go back and find that arm again. Here's the red. Just a little blast for that. And then I wonder how easy it would be. Get like a blue tone here. I don't like I'm trying to figure out, like, do I want this to feel like volumetric, or do I want it to feel flat? But I feel like I want it like somewhere in between, so there's like hints of dimension, but like not like crazy sculpted out things. But I thought maybe I would try this on the head, where I picked this kind of dark purplish color, and we go down like this, and then maybe a little hint here. I can't even see what that nose, oh, I see. And then maybe some dark back here, and some dark back here, just to try and give this some dimension, and then switch this to multiply, and then turn the opacity way down. Yeah, just so that there's like a hint of like that nose coming out, these eyes getting sunken back. I mean, I think that works pretty well. And then for the rest of this, I don't know, I think we can keep this other stuff kind of flat. Or I got one more thing I want to do. Well, I got a few more things I want to do. I shouldn't say one more thing. I'm going to add like a little highlight on the lips and one on the eyes. And go black in here. Cool. What else did I want to do? So I think you can like actually, in Clip Studio Paint, I can select all of this stuff, and I need to make a new folder. I'm just gonna call it, this guy needs a name too, like honestly, he looks like my sister's husband with longer hair, and his name is Tumaz. So maybe this is a Tumaz. Let's see. Yeah, let's just call it that. So if I take all of these layers and then put them in a folder like that. Now if I make a new layer and clip to this, can I just draw? Yeah, I could just draw right on that. People are probably like, you didn't know you could do that. And I'll be like, well, I had a feeling, but. So multiply, and then Just kind of, oh, that's pretty good right there. Just a little blast to, that might be too much there. Yeah, something like that. Feels good. Just gives it a little bit more form. Just a little bit. Let's not do that. And just gonna change the canvas size a little bit. Give it some more breathing room. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that this might be good. Just picking areas where I can slightly punch it up just a little bit, but I like simple, you know, like simple, and then hopefully it's got some kind of appeal to it. I really want this ear, I think, to be darker back here. So I'm just gonna get as close to this shape as I can. Multiply, and then turn it down just a little. And maybe soft erase the edge. Yeah, it helps out a little. And I think I might open up my layer or my folder here, and where the head, that's the neck. Yeah, right here. I'll make another layer here. I'm just gonna call this dark because I'm just gonna give a little airbrush blast back here. Multiply, and then turn up the opacity. You know, this edge, oh, I see, I can't, because that's the, I see. All right. What else done? What else? It looks kind of good on the white background, so I think I'll just leave that. And then let's make a layer here. Just to try and hint that there's a shadow. So I use the lasso fill just to draw this shape. And then I'm going to go to blur, Gaussian blur, turn that up, but not too up. Multiply, turn that opacity down. So now he's just a little grounded. It looks like he's at a photo shoot. Yeah, I think I got it. I think we're gonna call it. All right. So if you like this video, please do all please do all the cool stuff, and subscribe, comment, you know, tell me you dig the vibe, tell me that you don't dig the vibe, tell me like, why are you so boring? And then I'll try and think of something else to do, like maybe uh, I don't know. We'll workshop it. Um, but yeah, here it is. This is Tomas. I wonder if my sister's gonna see this eventually. All right. Thanks for stopping by.